Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are working on a war of attrition against the never-eaten arbitrators here. They have very little that they can do at this point, and that is going to go very poorly for them. Now, Ulm Prime here apparently needs a job. Okay, sure, we can actually a housing. We can definitely put in a generator district, and we can also upgrade the energy nexus here. That looks good. Why are we negative in energy credits? That doesn't seem right. Exotic gases, maybe. But energy credits? Interesting. We'll have to keep an eye on that after this next month tick. But for right now, I want to just go through these jobs really quickly here. Yeah, not a lot going on there. So these guys, they're going to be arriving back at Nullion right now. And I was just looking at these guys, and it looks like they're heading back to Meneth, which is fine. So for the moment, that is absolutely a-okay. What is the price on alloys right now? It's quite low. I'm going to buy a few. There we go. And now we're going to work on... Ooh, this Titan is going to be done in 7 days. Fascinating. We're going to work on the Deluge fleet here. So that looks good. Are we still building corvettes? No, we're in destroyers at this point. Okay. Oh, hang on. Something just happened. The never-eaten arbitrator war just ended. Okay, so we're still on this war in heaven for right now. I was definitely not expecting that to happen right then, because I'm pretty sure the never-eaten arbitrators no longer exist. They've got this area right here, but that's not actually a thing. Glowus, I guess, still exists. Interesting. An uneasy truce reigns over the galaxy. Okay. Well, let's kick forward and see if this war still exists. It does. Okay. So with that in mind, that is going to make a very big difference. So this is the only system here that the never-eaten arbitrators still hold. So they're going to... I don't like that, to be honest. I wish that they hadn't have made peace there, because we were about to crush them in the next, like, year or two, and they would cease to exist. Well, oh well. I guess it'll give us some time to build up. Now, how are we doing on our minor artifacts? The answer is 1.9k. So I want to go into our... actually, hang on. I'm wondering about doing a redesign on our ships once we get dark matter deflectors and thrusters, which we're going to get some progress on once we get this debris in Nullion. So we can see here there's deflectors, reactors, thrusters, advanced strike craft, more deflectors, reactors, and thrusters, and that's going to be finishing shortly. Okay, so let's finish that up.
Salvage preserved.
There we go. That is 20% progress for a lot of that. That's really, really solid. So if we look at our tech, then we can see 17 months, 1 month on the Mega Shipyard, and 30 months on Dark Matter Thrusters. Okay, so Dark Matter Thrusters aren't that big of a deal. So that is certainly noted. I think we're going to disband our Dimensional Fleet at this point. I don't think we need to keep this around. So let's get rid of that. Excellent. And we're going to pull our fleets back. We're still at war with the Urzuku regulators. So that is absolutely noted. Now, the Cephalos 7 is in Lem, and I'm guessing it needs some form of orders here. Yes, it definitely does. We're going to take it down to Celia, and we're going to build a Habitat Central Complex. We've also got the mischievous? Yeah, we're going to go with mischievous muscle here. And this looks like it's good to go in Nunki. So let's tell it to go... I'm guessing we've already done Ojlars. Yes, let's tell it to go to Eolum. We've already done that. Unok. So we're going to come down here. We don't right now have the alloys to queue this up, but there's that mega shipyard ready to go. We'll get that building soon. Okay, just checking through here. There's a devolving beam here, but I don't think we really need that. Let's just take the clone army for the time being. Okay, so we need to get a fair amount of alloys, so we're going to need to wait for a month tick. There's no way around that. Just waiting on that. There we go. Month tick comes in, and now we can build ourselves a Habitat Central complex here. So the Clever Clam is next. That is in Noyon, and I want this to just go on automated science for now. Not assist cloaking detection. Automated science. So do everything here, well, except capture space fauna or research special projects. That'll be fine. Okay, beautiful. So that looks good. We are returning back to Radar Central now. So we're going to need to get some ship upgrades done and some repairs done as well, although we're working on that currently. Okay, so that all looks fine for the moment. The next thing that I want to get started on, of course, eventually at least, is a mega shipyard up in Gothra, and that is going to be quite important. I do want to go back to utilizing minor artifacts, and to that end, I want to see here, yeah, we should activate the Rubricator right now, and we should also run lateral artifacting at this moment, and then run the Omni Codex to spawn some more pops. There we go. That'll do. So we're up to 1429 pops. That's good. Our economy is continuing to fill out. So our tech world here definitely needs a job upgrade, easy enough to do. In fact, we should put in a pair of city districts here at some point. We'll get those going. Okay, anything else needing to be done there? The answer is no. Let's check all of these orbital docks. Anything here? Actually, yes. Kochab Secundus can be upgraded to an orbital ring tier 2. So we'll get going on that immediately. Looks good. Okay. So all of our forces are arriving back at Radar Central now. That looks good. No major issue here. How are we doing on our dark matter research? 15 months remaining. Okay, that's going to be a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to reinforce these fleets without spending any minor artifacts for now. My question is, what's our cap on minor artifacts? 5,000? Okay, we're not close to that right now. So let's just go ahead and get some of these destroyers queued up. That'll be fine. I would love to get this fleet finished eventually. And actually, we're not that far away from it. But we will need alloys. The Black Tide, we're quite a long ways away from, as we are from the White Crush. So that is understood. Both of those are going to be a little bit on the tough end to get those replenished. But for now, this is looking reasonably good. Okay, that's a pirate fleet there, noted. And it looks like the other Federation members are focusing pretty hard on the Urzuku regulators now that this war up here is over. So that looks fine. The Never-Eaten Arbitrators were forced into peace. It was awkward. I wish that they weren't, but we shouldn't have to deal with this for a little while. So that will give us a lot of time to build back up. And that's really good. So we're going to continue to reinforce some of these destroyers. Excellent. We are at, currently, if we reinforce this right now... Why is this going to be using minor artifacts, allegedly? Do we still have minor artifacts in, like, our Titan? That might be. And that's not a bad thing, actually. Let's check in here. Let's see here. No minor artifacts here. No minor artifacts here. No minor. No minor. This one... The Ancient Ruination Glare. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'm not concerned about that one. Okay, so that looks good. Now we've got the Bow Rider up in Arras. So were we building... Yeah, we built orbitals here. Okay, I want to move that up to Gothra. Specifically, I want to move, like, here. I don't know that we can build... Yeah, we can't build it around that moon, but we can build it around here. And this would be the mega shipyard that we would build here. Although it's not showing up in the list. Why isn't it showing up in the list? That's interesting. Maybe we can't build it here because it has moons? We could build it here. It's a little further away from the hyper relay than we wanted it to be. But we'll see. We need to wait for the month tick before we can try to build this anyway. So let's get the month tick going. What's the current price on alloys? It's not terrible. But it's not great either. I'm going to buy in 1 unit of alloys here. That'll be fine. And now I want to check in and see.
System survey
so we
complete.
can't apparently build. Interesting. Let's see if we go in this way. Oh, we have to build it around the star. Okay, sure. Not ideal, but it's fine. I definitely intended to build it around the planet, but apparently it has to go around the star. I guess that's okay. So at this point, I do want to continue to reinforce this fleet. That should be building 4 cruisers. Okay, that looks good. So 4 cruisers are going to go in here. We are going to return to needing minor artifacts, and we're going to spend all of these minor artifacts on upgrades, which is going to not necessarily be ideal. But we're going to go back to needing minor artifacts once we have access to dark matter deflectors. And we'll have to figure out how we want to lay this out, right? Because Ancient Pulse Armor is where a lot of our previous was going, and with access to dark matter deflectors, that may not be what we want to do anymore. We'll see. We're only 7 months away from finishing that, though, so let's continue to work on pumping out these cruisers for now. And the upgrades will be done later, so that'll be fine. I'm a little surprised that the tidal wave hasn't had its Titan show up yet. Oh, we're still 400 days away from building it. Sure, that seems fine then. Now, we already have our Titan built for the Deluge fleet. The Black Tide and the White Crush do not
Research
have their
complete.
Titans built. So that is understood. We just finished up Gene Banks, so that is fine. Ancient Shield Overcharger, huh? That's a star-based building. Okay, climate restoration, not that big of a deal. A lot of the stuff here is really not all that big of a deal. Okay, let's grab, like, Chemical Bliss for now. Really more of a reroll than anything else. We're 20 months away on Dark Matter Thrusters at this point, so that would be good to have as well. And we'll see what that ends up feeling like. So we'll get a couple of cruisers going here. This is, at this point, what, 8 cruisers? So this is 9 of our total cruisers. Okay, next month, Dick, we should finish up our cruisers, and then we have 6 battleships to go. So that'll take a little bit, but the price on alloys is pretty consistently dropping now that there's a lot less demand for alloys. So that's good. That'll allow us to buy in alloys quite regularly, which would be fantastic. The Mesoglea needs to have orders. So we're currently in Diadem. Looks like we finished here. Let's head over to Nemean. This will be fine, and we could build a Habitat Central complex around here. Cool. Let's check in on our jobs. Anything needing to be done here? Yes, actually. Urin Tok needs a job here. I'm going to put in a city district for now. That'll solve that problem. We need more building slots there eventually, but right now it's not a huge necessity. Here we could definitely put in some research labs, and that would be great to do. I'm going to put in a single research lab for the moment. Any other jobs? Actually, our capital on Valus Prime could have something done. This is, of course, an agriculture world, and we don't want this to be our capital long term. We're going to change it back to where it was before the rebellion, but we have to wait for the war in heaven to be properly over for that. Okay, so that all looks good for now. The Deluge we're going to continue to reinforce. That is our final cruiser and one of our 6 battleships. So that looks great. And we should be finishing up some of these dark matter techs very soon here. Excellent. So we've got 2 months there. We're going to run out of exotic gases. That is definitely noted. Okay, so this refinery world here requires a job. We already have an ancient refinery on here. I'm just going to build a city district. That will not resolve our exotic gases issue. Okay, I'm just looking for a potential other option. There really kind of isn't one. Azkaminza Prime, a Forge world, can get a planetary capital upgrade now. But we may have to purchase some exotic gases for the moment. I don't love doing that, but that will buy us some time. Because we're going to need to get some more exotic gas production online. That's for sure. Indeed. So we've got like a Forge world here. this is a fortress world. I wouldn't mind putting in an ancient refinery here. We'll get that going.
Research complete.
So, I mean, ancient refineries are really, really strong, particularly when you have other jobs, but even if you don't, they're really good. So we can now go for the dark matter reactor, which we'll do. We just finished up the dark matter shields, so that is wonderful. At this point, let's figure out what we want our defensive setup to be. So on corvettes right now, I think corvettes probably should... Actually, what's the power usage here? 45 versus 25. Yeah, that's not fantastic. I mean, the shield hardening and shield hit points are okay, I guess. But this is basically purely shield, and we should think of this as being pretty much armor. So this is 290, and this would be 245, so that would be slightly lower, but then additional 75 shield hit points. So this would be slightly higher hit points, plus it would give our corvettes some amount of shielding. The question is, would it drop us below the evasion amount? We're not going to go for dark matter deflectors on corvettes. That's not going to happen. So you can see here, that puts us at minus 15 power, so we would need dark matter reactors for that. Okay, we'll just wait. We will wait for dark matter reactors. That's fine. We'll get a couple more battleships queued up here for the Deluge fleet. And how long before we get dark matter reactors? 40 months. Okay, that's going to be a little while. Noted. I would like it if this was, you know, progressing a little faster, but here we are. So here on Suitor Prime, we're putting in an ancient refinery, and we are intending on making sure that that job actually gets filled. That would be the ideal situation anyway. So for now, let's check through the rest of these because we're going to need additional exotic gas production. There's no doubt about that. But as of right now, we don't really have anywhere where we really want to put that in, so that'll have to do. So we've got the drifting coracle here.
Construction complete.
And it looks like that is done in this area, so let's head into, say, Gaping Maw. And there's not much to be done here, to be honest. We can simply build a single habitat, and that's kind of it. Like, that's the whole thing. Okay, that's some very spooky lightning. No doubt about it. Cool. Well, our main issue right now remains our exotic gas situation. So we do have our orbital docks here, and what type of world is this? This is a tech world. Okay, so we want to put in an anchorage then, and this would be a naval logistics office, like that. Okay, so that looks fine for now. And we do have all of these working away, so we're making pretty good progress on getting all of our habitats built up, that's for sure.
Research
we really do
complete.
need to, well, chemical bliss finishes, sure. I guess this is fine. We'll just grab, like, some starbase cap. That's okay. What we really need right now, of course, is to replenish... Ooh, wow, look at how cheap that alloy price is. I'm buying some. Wonderful. That was really solid. As I was saying, what we really need to do is reinforce these fleets, and this one's done. So that's fantastic. We're now done with 2/3 of these, and now we've got the Black Tide here. So we can put in a bunch of corvettes here. That should be pretty close to all of our corvettes. Yeah, now we're working on destroyers. Okay, looks good. So that'll be wonderful. The Black Tide will finish up reasonably quickly. We are only making 1,000 alloys per month. I would like to bring those numbers up. We need to fill out jobs, is what really needs to happen here. So that's what we're working on. The Sentry Spire is going to cost 10,000 to upgrade, and of course, the Mega Shipyard, that's going to be expensive in alloys to upgrade as well. We can continue to buy in alloys, and I'd like to get some of this food sold off. We're a major food exporter, as you can see by the fact that we've sold 1.6 million food over the course of this game. And now the question is, what's that alloy price? Reasonable. I'm going to buy 2,500 more. So we'll pour that into the Black Tide. and get that building back up. Our destroyer count is definitely not where it needs to be, but it's getting closer. Okay, so Moscot just finished up over here. Let's colonize this. There we go. And of course, we're going to need to build orbitals here. So nothing
System
to be
survey
done
complete.
there, but we can build a major orbital up here. This is a very open system. This is going to be a major orbital here. It's also a brown dwarf, okay? So it's also a very dark and open system. So then we've got the corpse of the Tianki matriarch that we can't build anything around, but we can definitely build some orbitals out over this way. Keep in mind, every orbital costs 1 alloy per month to maintain. So that's definitely something that we're going to want to keep in mind. That's going to cut in a lot. As we can see here, 233.5 being consumed by megastructures right now. So that is absolutely something to consider. Insured sovereignty, huh? Okay. Well, exotic gases is down to -3, so that's better. This agri-world has an open job. I kind of want to put in an ancient refinery here. And then one more hydroponics farm. Not a luxury residence, a hydroponics farm. There we go. Something along the lines of that. Should be fine. Okay, nothing else really going on there, but the crafty cuttlefish, actually we have a multitude of idols. I want you to be doing whatever you can at this point, except for unleashing the big one. Don't do that. So we're in Vinjim right now. Looks like we're going to need to go to, like, Volmar. Okay, what is this out over here? Ruin Station? Okay. Let's build a megastructure out over here. There we go. And then the crafty cuttlefish is down this direction. So we're going to need to colonize here, get that going. And we're going to need to build some orbitals. So we're going to put a miner here. This is going to be a major. This is going to be a major. Miner. Major. And then we've got a little bit more down over here. So this will be a minor and a major. Not the most efficient path in the world, but it'll do. Major orbital here, and a minor, and a major that we don't have the alloys for. Okay, let's give it a month tick. There we go. Major here. Major over the pulsar. Major orbital here, and minor here. Okay, so that should do. Beautiful. Next up, of course, we are going to be continuing to reinforce this fleet. We only have 429 at this point. Yeah, you can see our alloy count is dropping overall. We need our pop growth to come up on some of our worlds here, and that's going to take a little while. No doubt about that. We're working on it. Our pops are growing, and they're growing faster and faster all the time as we get more of these stations built. So that'll be okay, but we definitely still have a long ways to go on some of these worlds, particularly like these down over here. Look at that. This is a Forge world with 30 available jobs. Well, we just got some additional pops from Refugee, so that's good. And we can actually get even more Foundry jobs here. So yeah, we definitely have a lot of growth space in this economy. We just need pops. So that is exactly what we're going to look for. We're growing our pop capacity faster than we're growing our pops. So we're kind of falling behind in that regard at this moment. So that is definitely noted. Let's continue to work on the Black Tide here. That's going to be 4 additional destroyers. Looks good. So that'll bring us up to 15 out of 25. Sure. How are we doing on dark matter reactors and thrusters? 6 months remaining on those. Okay. Definitely making solid progress on all of that. I want to check in on the status down here, and these guys are still not doing anything. Why not? They can survey this. Also, what is this system? Oh, it's settled. That makes more sense. I was going to be like, what is going on here with 10,094 trade value? But no, there's a habitat here owned by the Mullernock Star Corp, and there's a planet here too. Both with quite a lot of pops. I don't know why this isn't considered part of the Mullernock Star Corp, That's very strange. But even if we were to build something here... Okay, yeah, this is bugged. Okay, come on out of there. I'd like you to come over here and research this anomaly instead. Beautiful. So we'll come do that. That'll be fine. And we are, of course, continuing to work on some of these orbitals, which is going to cause our alloy monthly tally to just slowly droop down until such a time as we can get places like this a few more jobs, which would be good. Or not necessarily a few more jobs, a few more pops, because we currently have 35 pops here, right? Or actually, we have 37. But we have 35 available jobs, and 26 of these are metallurgist jobs. And we can even get more. There's going to be an additional 2 metallurgist jobs. So, yeah, that's definitely a thing. Let's actually prioritize metallurgist, and that'll bump us up quite a lot in terms of our planetary production here. So that'll be good. I'm also going to get these alloy nanoplants going. So these are mostly... We still have a lot of available metallurgist jobs here. That's noted. Okay. It's gonna take some time to get that all ready to go. So Wentworth Prime over here requires a job, and this is a tech world mostly-ish. Okay, I'm gonna replace this precinct house for now with a research lab, and I'm going to put in a research lab here, and we're going to put in a city district. That'll be fine. That'll get us all of our building slots good to go there. Now, Rontor Prime here, this is a new location. So I want to put in a gene clinic and a habitation district. There we go. No problem there. Everything is looking great. So we're full on astral threads. Let's gain our physics insight and our astral boost. We're up to 1453 pops. Everything is looking good. Ah, okay, these guys built a juggernaut. Sure. Have fun with that. So we're going to get dark matter thrusters in 1 month, but that is a next episode sort of thing. It's time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to see about getting our ships upgraded to dark matter, as well as continuing to reinforce them. Although we are getting very, very close at this point. We're working on our cruisers here, so that's looking solid. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Andy McGar, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Hiro Marutsu, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.